Hello, I'm Jon Winkelman, your spiritual fitness coach. Today we're going to talk about laziness. Jesus liked to teach using stories. We often refer to these stories as parables. In one of his parables, Jesus talked about a master who was going on a trip and entrusted amounts of money to the 3 servants who would care for his property while he was gone. The first 2 men doubled their money. The last one hid his money in a hole. Literally. When the master returns, he settles the accounts of these men. And we pick up the scene as he gets to the last guy. Matthew chapter 25, verses 24 to 27. He also, who had received the 1 talent, came forward, saying, "Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow, and gathering where you scattered no seed. So I was afraid, and I went and hid your talent in the ground. Here, you have what is yours." But his master answered him, "You wicked and slothful servant. You knew that I reap where I have not sown, and gather where I scattered no seed. Then you ought to have invested my money with the bankers, and at my coming I should have received what was my own with interest." Did you catch that? The servant says he was afraid. He offers an excuse for doing nothing. This excuse does not satisfy the master. He calls the man wicked and slothful or lazy. Does this mean that every time we do nothing, we are being slothful and lazy? No. Let me be very clear. Taking a break is not laziness. Laziness is when we have the resources, ability, and opportunity to do something, but choose to do nothing instead. The fact that the other 2 servants were able to double their money indicates that this one could have at least invested the money and earned a little interest back. Instead, he chose to do nothing. Why? Because he cared more about his own comfort than he did about the master's work. This is what lies at the heart of laziness, a desire for our own comfort and ease. It's not that comfort is wrong, nor that ease is sinful, but when we have everything we need to do something that needs to be done and we choose to do nothing, that is sin. The implication of this parable is clear. James 4 verse 17 says this, "So whoever knows the right thing to do and fails to do it, for him it is sin." We know the right thing to do, and we choose to do nothing. Several years ago, I was walking into our local grocery store when I found a $20 bill in the parking lot. At the time, we were newly married and our finances were extremely tight. Praising God for His provision, I went inside and did my shopping. As I stood in line waiting to check out, it became apparent that the woman at the check stand did not have enough money to pay for all of her groceries. I felt the Holy Spirit prompting me to give her that $20. Now, I wish that I could tell you that I did, but I didn't. I ignored that still small voice of the Holy Spirit, and I did nothing. Was I sinning? I don't know. What I do know is that we are here over a decade later, and I still think about it. Laziness is when we have the resources, ability, and opportunity to do something, but choose to do nothing instead. In that moment, at the grocery store, I was spiritually lazy. If we want to win today over laziness, we must embrace the opportunity, use our abilities, and leverage our resources to make a difference in the lives of others. God has already given us everything we need. So, let's win today over laziness.